Mark, was that as simple as just not enough runs today?
Well, no, it's never that simple. It's true, but there are a few things that we didn't quite get quite right today, including after a decent platform, not capitalising on that in the middle overs there, which has been our kind of nemesis this year. So we lost that momentum in the middle, and then obviously struggling at the back end to try and get something competitive. But yeah, it was a below par score, and when you're below par with the bat, you need to be excellent and above par with the ball. So, and then we're not at the moment. So I think that's why we kind of comfortably lost the game.
What do you put it down to? I mean, you mentioned the last few games. There's been that point where it's time to sort of launch, and wickets have been lost at that point. Is there anything in particular that you can put that down to?
Not really. But yeah, that acceleration. The one thing I have seen is that maybe we're trying to go from 0 to 60 seconds a bit too quickly. Maybe a more gradual increase of tempo. But it's come from guys really trusting their game and trying to clear the ropes. And we've just been caught in between two stalls with probably facing too many dot balls. Keeping the ball ticking in between the boundaries is probably the better option. So yeah, we don't want to quell that ambition in terms of getting scores on the board, but yeah, you need a little bit of luck and some deeper focus, I guess, to get a bigger score on the board, particularly when we're batting first.
This is another instance, a little bit of not quite what you were expecting in terms of the surface. Is that fair at all? Were you expecting that to play a little bit more like it did in the international game the other day?
I don't think it was that far off, to be honest. I do think the bowlers bowled very well. The international bowlers were a lot shorter in length, so I think maybe if they had bowled a different length, they might have got the same results as well. But yeah, it did hold a little bit, but it's not beyond expectation here at Bristol, so I wasn't surprised.
And I know it's a sort of obvious question, but 4 defeats to start the campaign, how do you go about turning it around from here?
Well, it sounds really strange because you have to approach that 5th game the same way as if you had won the first 4. You've got to look at the opposition, and we've got to make sure we can create some kind of competitive advantage against whoever we're playing against. The downside of losing 4 games is that it does knock the confidence a little bit. So we've got to kind of ride that a bit and kind of build the players back up to trust their best game, because it's your best game that's going to get you over the line. If we're timid and lose that trust, then you can end up staring the 50 feet down the barrel. So that's our job. There's only one day to really turn that around, but that's okay. We just had a nice chat about the game and how we're going to approach the rest of this campaign. And in a lot of ways, that hasn't changed from game 1. We just need the forces to be with us a bit more and try and get a victory on the board.
And Glamorgan on Sunday, a team there's been some pretty good recent memories against. Does that help at all?
To be honest, I've been very adamant in terms of taking on any campaign. Historical stuff doesn't count for that much, to be honest. Last year, this year, I think what's more relevant is how teams are playing right now. Glamorgan are a better challenge this year than they were last year, so in that respect the challenge is going to be completely different and tougher, and we're not as good as we were last year just yet. So you can see right there the amount of challenge it's going to be to try and get over the line on Sunday. But it's a really good time to kind of start some momentum and see if we can get back to winning ways.
Thanks so much for your time, Mark.